So I am excited to introduce, not only is it our co-host, but the creator of this wonderful event. Now, she's a world-traveled singer-songwriter, a Seattle-born gypsy that has been living and working all around the country, currently working in LA as a fashion designer and costume maker. And while COVID has hit, she started up the new show, Auntie Popo Kids Show, to assist all the families that are homeschooling and really getting back to living with kids at home full time. So I am so excited to introduce Poeina. What are you gonna play? Let's play something for us tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna play you a song called Freedom Run. I wrote this song when I was like 16 years old, and I don't know, I love it, so I'm gonna share it.
Love it. Let's get to it.
No one knows who I am, 'cause I run from myself faster than I ever ran from him. I run for my freedom, away from the lies, and mostly I just run too high. All the conversations these days seem to say to me, I hope you find what you're looking for. I am on a freedom run, running from myself ain't really fun. Freedom run, freedom run, I'm on a freedom run. Oh, the train is coming at me, it's laughing down the tracks. I freeze in slow motion and I keep looking back. Oh, my past is gonna hit me with everything I did to it, and make me pay the consequence for running away from it. I am on a freedom run, running from myself ain't really fun. Freedom run, freedom run, I'm on a freedom run. Oh, I'm on a freedom run. Oh, run, 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 run. I'm on a freedom ride. I'm on a freedom ride. I'm on a freedom run. Oh, run, run, run,
Fire! Oh my gosh, I loved it.
Thank you.
Remember that when you're 16?
Awesome.
I did, yeah.
That's deep.
Long time ago.
That's
Right.
so deep.
Well, it's funny. I'm like, what was I thinking when I was 15 that I needed to write that? But I don't know. Sometimes songs are like more of a premonition, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, the self-proclaimed gypsy aspect, I'm curious about that. Do you find that that was almost like a intuitional knowing that it was like, hey, your road's gonna be adventurous?
I don't know. As far as I know, I'm like third generation gypsy. Like my mom traveled a lot. Her mom traveled a lot. I don't know. Always a free spirited lineage, I suppose. We all make jewelry, and we all, we do all that.
True creative spirit, you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's, I guess, one of the things that I'm curious about with that song is running from yourself. Where did you find that? I guess, where did you find that that's still a thing that you have to kind of look at and analyze with your own life right now?
Well, I definitely am not running at this point in my life.
Yeah.
And not at all. It's
Excellent.
interesting though, because I think even though I was writing those words at the time, I didn't really, I don't think even acknowledge that that's what I was doing. So it's interesting that I could sing it and not have an awareness about it. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, I think definitely there came a point. Actually, when I was living in Portland, when I met you,
Yeah.
I did this crazy show called The Bedroom Show, which Jill was helping in the production of some of that show too. And I got to a point where I was living with roommates, and I pulled them all into the living room, and I said, I just realized I've been running for a long time. And I was like, so I have this goal. I want to be happy. I'm going to sit here. I don't know how long it's going to take. I gave myself really basic goals, like pay the rent, play my guitar every day, and eat, this is it. And I was like, and I'm going to stop running and I'm going to sort it out. And it was nice. That ended up leading towards the bedroom show. That's kind of how it became inspired to stop running.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was just such a powerful song, not only like with the acoustics and harmonics, but I mean, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
No, I loved it. I think that's one of the things that is always so fascinating, that it's a song that was timeless, because that applies to so many people right now. And I think that's one of the special things with COVID is that you can't run anywhere, right?
We're stuck to like look at ourselves now and like really be with ourselves, So I think it's a really, important time in all of our lives, really, to look at ourselves and be who we really are.
Yes, Jill, I love it. I love it. I mean, the thing is, you said you're like, what, 15 writing that song? It's a timeless piece that applies to today. How do you feel like your wisdom and journey of that kind of ending the run can help people nowadays? Like, what would be your words of wisdom for the listeners right now?
Ooh. Make sure
Loaded question.
Good. I just think, the most important thing that I could say from what I've learned is don't reject pain and suffering and allow it to move through your body. And, you don't have to suppress it. You can still feel it and you can still allow time for it. And when you do allow time for your suffering, then it allows you to overcome, I think, quicker, and helps you to become more resilient. And so
it's that learned lesson, and it's turning the pain into power, as I like to see it.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to do this fundraiser for Jesse, because he's someone, we lived in the same town as kids, and we lied to each other for like 10 years where we came from because of where we came from. And then we finally admitted it. And, and I've watched him also face tremendous amounts of adversity in his life, and with such grace, and just be able to constantly transform it into poetry, and then into his business, My Sweet Lil Cakes. Even he was able to transform a lot of his experiences into, this really incredible company with really super delicious and unique food. And I love that kind of resilience, I think, in people is really inspiring. So I definitely want to support that where I see that, and I definitely see that in Jesse and his company.
Right on.
I love it. Well, shall we get into another song?
Sure. All right, this one came as my mom says, please write me a song for my birthday. So I think by Mother's Day I finished it, but it ended up kind of a prayer of protection for the world. Here it goes. I found the devil and lived. My mama knew just who he was. She knew things that I did not. Said I needed to learn it for myself. Mama, your children are gone. Hang your heart on the clothesline. Let the sun keep you warm. Lord knows how much it hurts. Daughters of men, beware. Them bad angels are everywhere. And they're vying for your soul. And it's shameless and it's horrible. Children, be warned, you're not wiser than the old. To find it, we must seek the truth hidden but free. Sons of the earth, beware, them bad demons are everywhere, and they're gambling with your soul, and it's shameless. L'arcangele defeneno sempre Elio contro l'equizia. Era insidias, diaboli, esto presidium, imperati Deus, supplices te precamur. Duque, princeps, militia, celestis, satanam, alios, que spiritus melignum, quia perditionam manebaram. Prevagantur in mundo divina virtute, o infernam detrude. Amen. Amen. Daughters and sons, beware. Them bad angels are everywhere, and they're vying for your soul, and it's shameless, and it's horrible, horrible, it's shameless, and it's horrible. It's like trying really loud right here.
No, I got chills with that one, man. That's just so powerful.
Bilingual singing. What?
Just a little Latin.
I loved it. I love that. That was super powerful. I agree, Jill.
Yes.
I can feel that.
Thank you.
Well, it's such a testament.
Goosebumps a little.
Well, I mean, that was just such a powerful song too. Again, like hitter after hitter, because I think the line, I mean, you started off with such a profound line for me, and it was like, I found the devil and lived, and then like the mama knew, but I have to learn it for myself. Like, oh my gosh, like, yo.
She literally did say that to me at some point. She was like, well, you know, this is gonna be bad, but you're gonna have to figure it out. And so I went down this like path of like, I'm pretty sure I'm walking into danger, but I guess I gotta figure it out for myself.
Well, I guess that's one of the things is, what has that role of the kind of maternal insight and wisdom been for you in your life? From your mom, that is.
Yeah, what did you say?
What's the maternal insight? Like, how has your mom really helped you in this journey of like growth and healing and traveling and everything?
Man, you know, I'm just grateful that my mom and me, we kind of like, we have a similar experience when it comes to the spirit realm, I guess. So
that's my
it's
that's
always
my realm.
so it's good that she's someone that I can talk to about those things, and so yeah.
Just that guiding light almost.
Yeah, she has a lot of wisdom. She's helped for sure.
That's so cool. Well, I mean, you made a beautiful song for Mother's Day, yo.
It took a while. It took us from her birthday until Mother's Day. I had a couple of months, but I finally did it, finished it.
What inspired like the Latin prayer? That was just like change up, but I loved it.
Well, you know, like singing about angels and demons and being affected in the spiritual sense, you know, in our daily lives. I wanted to be able to, you know, not just talk about that, but then like leave a prayer of protection. So I wanted to be able to sing this song, and every time I sing it, that I'm praying over people that are listening to the song, so that I'm not just like talking about good and evil, but praying for, you know, when people can hear the prayer, then hopefully it brings safety and blessings into their lives.
Giving that good spirit vibe, sending those good vibes out there. No, I love that. To me, that was incredibly profound. And I think that's one of the powerful aspects of music, is that it can open up that doorway into that almost divine heavenly aspect to ourselves. And whew, I felt it on that one.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
In terms of your, I guess you could say almost like your path of, you know, the dancing with the devil, so to speak, what gave you the strength to kind of persevere? And because again, like bring it back to that opening line, like you found the devil and lived, you know, what brought you that light to get through the darkness?
Honestly, it was God. Honestly, it was God, because I didn't believe in God. I've lived a very adventurous life, but I had a very you know, road to Damascus moment in which I felt like I didn't have a choice. I needed to choose good or evil. And when I did that, there was this group of women, mostly women, some men, but from all different cultures, Filipino and all these different women, and they taught me how to pray, and they taught me from, you know, they were all older, much older than me, and they were just accepted me however I came, and they taught me how to pray, and that really, it really saved my life. It really just dramatically changed my perspective and my reality.
Wow, I love
Oh
those.
yeah, the wisdom of the old little ladies at church. They know some things.
I remember the first time I got asked to pray, and I was like, "What?" And then, you know, after I prayed, you know, it just got better. But I'm still working on it. But you can learn a lot from your elders.
Right, and I think that's something that's honestly, I think that's one of the most unfortunate things I see in American culture, is just how we treat the elderly. Because I mean, I personally work with like elderly population, and it's always fascinating just to hear their stories and just the things that like they unload on you.
They've lived through so much, and we
like
just take it
wars.
for granted, you know, this wealth of wisdom just sitting there, you know, to
And we put them away. We like lock them away. And I think that's one of the messed up things about like our society, is how it's when we see the aging, we fear the death, and we're just like, oh no, I can't handle that. And we put them in this like retirement home, we put them in a senior center, and we lose that wisdom, we lose those stories, we lose that heritage and culture that just is waiting there. Just they're ready to talk and just let it out there.
But all those places, they're sitting there ready and waiting for visitors, so people can go. They can be guests and go hug them or sing for them or pray for them or whatever.
Oh man, I
encourage it. I encourage it. Oh yeah, except for the COVID, that's even worse.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
you got to see them through windows or on a.
Well, I think some of them, as long as you get your test for COVID, you could probably go in and visit.
It really depends, I think, and like the where
at.
Yeah, they're very strict still. I mean, the ones that I had to see, it's like it's like mask outside, all of that type of stuff. And I guess one of the things that I'm curious about is, where was that kind of spiritual experience for you? Gotta get this headphone
Los
back in,
Angeles.
and there we go. We're good to
The
go.
City of Angels.
Really? Oh, of course.
You know, you got angels and demons in that city vying for your soul for sure.
True. Well, I guess one of the things that I want to know before we move on to the next song is what inspired you to really go and seek that out?
I didn't seek it out. I was very resistant. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I was.
So how'd you end up with all the abuelas?
I literally just walked into this church one day, and I don't know. I felt the presence of evil all around me, and I started thinking less like the Midwest and more like the city. I started thinking like people aren't generally good. There's organized crime, and there's organized sex trafficking, and there's organized evil. And I just felt this desire to be clean. That's all I could think. I needed to be clean from this thing. And I decided, who cares? Everyone believes whatever they want to. I'm an adult. I can believe whatever I want to. If I want to go be baptized and never think about it again, that's what I'll do. So my plan was to get baptized and just feel clean and then go about my business being whatever it was that I was being. But then instead, I met these incredible women who taught me to pray, and it changed everything.
That temple within, that temple within. I love it. I love it. Well, I guess we could say, what's going to be the last song that we conclude the evening with?
Well, this is called My King. So it's about returning home.
I love it.
Fell hard, hit my head. Next I knew was in love again. How you rattle my core, challenge my thoughts in your open doorways. And I love you dearly, my king. And I can see your beauty in all things. And I love you dearly, my king. And I can almost see your face when I look upon the kindness of a stranger. Feels like one big shot, carry my heart to kill me off. Lord, please have mercy, show me love and then set me free. And I love you dearly, my king. And I can see your beauty in all things. And I love you dearly, my king. And I can almost see your face when I look upon the kindness of an angel. I can almost see your face when I look upon the kindness of a stranger.
Oh, oh my gosh. You need to be at every festival and type of once Rhoda ends, because every song tonight just vibed, and you have such a calming presence, but such a powerful voice. It's like the wildest combo, but I love it. I loved every second. Man, my king, I can see your beauty in all things. That's like, oh, I love that. I love the spiritual vibe though, like, and like the growth and the power within each word of all the songs you've like sang this evening. And where was the inspiration for this one? Because when did you write it?
I wrote it when I started having this faith, started believing in God, and I felt like I was the things I was learning and the things that I was experiencing, I was just really starting to look at myself and others from a completely different perspective. I was looking at everybody. I looked at, like looking at people as if, how much does God love this person? How much do they love me? And then seeing the beauty in every person and everything, and seeing that mark of creation just on, just on everything. And, feeling like, I wrote, I don't even know how many songs in my past about wanting to go home and not having a home, and where's my home, and be these, being far away from home, all these songs, and then when I like discovered this like love and respect and compassion for people in a different way than I'd ever experienced it before through faith, then I definitely just everything shifted. And yeah, I just felt it. I felt like I'd returned home. And so for the first time, I was like, I figured it out. I know where it is. Here it is. There it is.
Yes.
It hurt, but I got there. I'm home.
Oh, I love it, Poeina, because I think that's the stuff that really, every religion always tries to reflect upon, and really in the subtleties gives it. It's like, hey, it's all within you. It's when you journey in, you can see everything reflect itself on the external. And to me, it's always like the truest expression of like the namaste, like I bow to the divine within you. And when you can have that recognition and just that gratitude and grace, life-changing. So you've already gone through like your spiritual awakening. You've gone through those journeys and tribulations.
I don't know. Does it stop? I don't know if it ever stops. I think you're always like, oh, now I figured it out. And then you're like, shoot.
But you got to the starting line, right?
Wait a minute.
I think that's powerful right there, because I think because I was kind of like a skeptic in terms of a lot of the things that I experienced too. But when I really started to question it and genuinely question it and search things out, life just rewards you with these nuggets of wisdom and experiences that just give you that profound sense of like, oh wow, this is it. This is it.
Yeah,
So
there definitely is divine wisdom out there for sure. I hoped that there would be, but it took me a long time to figure out like it's there. It's definitely there.
Well, the fruit only drops when it's ripe, yo.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think that's the coolest thing, is that you've been able to really transform your suffering and the pain and everything that you've experienced into power. And there's nothing better than utilizing it for creativity. And the fact that you've just song after song after song, like you can feel it. You can feel it.
Thanks. Thanks so much for coming on the show and hosting with me and hanging out and to raise the cakes. I appreciate it. And I hope that everybody who's watching goes and donates on the GoFundMe to My Sweet Lil Cakes. And I hope that everybody watching shares this on their Facebook page or their Twitter or wherever, so that we can raise compassion as a community and raise the cakes and raise My Sweet Lil Cakes, and really just show what community and love and support, what it really looks like. And let's lift up this one person, because if we lift up this one person, we lift up the whole world, and it's so let's do that, and let's raise the cakes.
Raise the cakes, raise the cakes. And thank you for this opportunity, Poeina. Everyone support Jesse in this mission. No one deserves it better.
Absolutely.